It's Gorman in the morning with Fletcher and Ryder. Now, 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning on Minnesota's 92 KQRS. It is Tuesday, November the 4th. Whoo, baby. I am in Chicago, ladies and friends.
And how many hours of sleep did you get?
What would that be? Who am us anyway? Hey now. No, I did all right. I got like 4 hours, hopped on the bus, rolled in. They dropped me off right outside the building here. Couldn't have been better.
That was really nice of them.
It was really nice of them. Unfortunately, they dropped me off 3 hours ago, so I've just been really waiting. No, I'm kidding. Let's get to it. I'm feeling Minnesota. One thing we got to do first, and that's get to some headlines. Paul Fletcher's here. Ryder is here. My goodness, where are my manners?
That's okay. Looking forward to Frank Caliendo tonight. I'm going to short myself sleep for some laughs later.
Attaboy. All right, let's get to it. I'm feeling Minnesota, Paul Fletcher. What's happening in the world?
The afternoon of October 18th, two young men were robbed at gunpoint on the 1800 block of Nicollet Avenue South. A 20-year-old suspect approached them with a handgun and made off with about $1,100, a watch, and jewelry. However, what the suspect didn't know is the victims were shooting a music video. All the activity was caught in high def. Later that day, the suspect showed up on city surveillance cameras in the same area, wearing the same clothes. Police tracked him down. He was arrested, charged with 2 felonies.
You gotta, first things first, who's robbing musicians? What are the chances the musician you choose to rob actually has cash? That's shocking in itself.
Yeah, they got lucky on that case.
Man.
Unreal that they're shooting a music video, though. It's hilarious.
Okay, yeah, does this not make for the coolest music video ever?
I would
of
think
all
so.
time.
I don't know who this artist is, but if they don't utilize that footage, they are really missing the point.
100%.
Works in so many genres. Country, punk, rap. It works everywhere.
It works everywhere.
Yeah.
The Trump administration said yesterday it will partially fund the SNAP program this month amid the federal government shutdown, now the longest in U.S. history. The update comes after 2 judges issued rulings requiring it to keep the nation's largest food aid program running. The Agriculture Department will use $4.65 billion from SNAP's $5 billion contingency fund to cover half of the estimated $8 billion in monthly benefits for nearly 42 million Americans.
Don't know if it's the least they can do, but it sure feels like the least they can do.
Yeah, somewhere in that neighborhood. Bad Company drummer Simon Kirke and frontman Paul Rodgers will not be reuniting for their Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction this weekend. They were initially set to perform 2 songs, but Rodgers shared on Instagram that he will not be performing due to health reasons. Kirke and an all-star band will perform instead. The ceremony goes down live on Disney Plus this Saturday and then Hulu on demand the next day.
Man, that's a drag.
It is.
Paul's had it's public information, but he's had a series of strokes over the last couple of years. And when I heard that he was performing, I was really excited. I thought, oh my God, he must be really coming around. I'm sorry. It's very sad to hear that he's not able to do it because, man, they've been waiting a long time for that. That's a drag.
Well, hopefully, if he's not able to perform, at least he can kick back and enjoy the ceremony and enjoy people loving him. A 150-year-old beer enjoyed during an Arctic expedition is being opened to help brewers recreate another batch of the legendary brew. Brewed in 1875 for a British expedition to the North Pole, Allsop's Arctic Ale was packed with calories and alcohol to help explorers survive the cold. Now, it's being recreated.
Wow.
They're going to revive the recipe for a limited edition release, which will be called Innis and Gunn 1875 Arctic Ale.
So it was like the Snickers bar.
It was
like the Snickers bar of its era, packed with calories and other things. Arctic Haw really satisfies. Okay, boy, that's interesting to me. I'm a beer drinker. I'm not interested in a beer that's 150. A recipe from 150 years ago. It's like, I would take a sip. Who's really going to sit around and drink this stuff?
I do a flight of 150-year-old beers. Yeah, a little taster of a whole bunch of different things. Sounds good.
Yeah. All right. I'm
curious, but
I don't know. This is not, to me, this is like trying to bring back the dodo bird. Let the extinct species, such as this beer, let them lie in peace.
Yeah.
That's me.
I don't disagree. It's election day across Minnesota. Not all, but most polls are opening right about now. and most will close at 8 p.m. As long as you're in line by 8 p.m., you will be allowed to vote. So even if you do not reach the front of the line until after 8 p.m., just keep that in mind. In Minneapolis, mayor and city council seats are on the ballot. In St. Paul, there's a mayoral race and a ballot question for voters. And I believe we're deciding the Senate as well today, are we not?
Sounds like a plan.
The state senate, yeah. So Nicole Mitchell, who they did went and robbed her stepmom's house or something like that in Detroit. Her seat in Woodbury is up for grabs, and then I believe in Buffalo there was a state senator that passed away. His seat is up for grabs. But local elections, like the city junk, is where you really get to make your voice heard.
100%.
They decide all your day-to-day crap, your property taxes, your streets getting plowed. What kind of services are at your parks and stuff like that. So giddy up.
We got a big school vote in our district, so I'm feeling
stuff.
it 100%. Yeah. Dick Cheney, one of the most powerful and polarizing vice presidents in U.S. history, has passed away at 84. He died Monday night due to complications of pneumonia and cardiac and vascular disease.
He's
80,
like
I would have said he was way older than 84.
He seemed like he was 184.
Yeah.
I remember him from like a teenager, like late 70s, early 80s.
Okay.
Sniffing around the Reagan years.
Sure.
That guy, when he showed up in 2000 with Bush, I was like, that still?
Yeah.
That guy? That's when I was really recognizing, these guys just recycle themselves forever.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
There were uncertainties, but Jon Stewart has re-upped his deal to executive produce and host a daily show on a part-time basis. Stewart's current contract is set to expire in December, but he is now obligated through 2026. Stewart typically hosts the Monday night episode of The Daily Show. I think he jumps in on Thursdays as well, while other correspondents rotate the other nights.
It's a good gig if you can get it.
Right? One day a week?
Man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Progresso is promoting its new line of barbecue-inspired Pitmaster soups with nothing. I mean, of course, this is really, really obvious. They're promoting it with limited edition Pitmaster deodorant.
What?
They've developed a pit stick that smells like barbecue. The company explained the company explained that they wanted to give people the ability to smell like they've been manning the grill all day without the hassle of actually manning the grill all day.
Wow.
I can't even.
Okay, dudes who really do barbecue and not just grill, because there's a difference. The one guy I know who does it well gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning before a Vikings game to smoke that meat for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like.
But that's smoking. You can still grill and not smoke for 12 hours.
But you said barbecue pitmaster type stuff. Is it grilling?
I suppose. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Pitmaster. That's a good point. Yeah.
So this deodorant is stolen valor. If you're not getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning to hang out outside smoking some pig or what have you,
you don't deserve to smell like that.
You don't. No.
Man. And
I'm rough.
I got all excited when I heard Progresso soup because I'm such a soup fanatic, and then it just went sideways into barbecue armpit.
No soup in this for you at all.
Oh, brisket pits. That's what they should call it.
Mm-hmm.
Brisk pits. Brisk pits. That's the word.
That's almost as tough to say as Howl Owl Howl.
Nothing's as tough as Howl Owl Howl.
Howl Owl Howl is easy to say.
Fast. It's the only way you can get through it. Howl Owl Howl.
Howl, yeah.
Let's talk sports, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota Timberwolves basketball team played a game against the Brooklyn Nets last night. They were able to win the game. Naz Reid, Rudy Gobert, Julius Randle, all on the floor at the same time towards the end of the game. That would be called the big lineup, I imagine.
Yeah.
But it's what the team needed. They beat down the Nets. Dante DiVincenzo, 25 points with a broken nose.
Ooh.
Got that mask on, looking like the Caped Crusader. Very, very strong. Jaden McDaniels, 22 points on 9 for 11 shooting. A solid performance. They will be in Manhattan tomorrow night to play the New York Knicks with Karl Anthony Towns. The Loons found themselves in Seattle last night, down 3-0 in the first half. They scrambled in the extra time period of the first half. They put 2 in the net to make it 3-2 at the half.
Wow.
Stayed hungry, almost broke through with the tying goal several times in the second half of the game before they gave up a backbreaker in the 86th minute. They lost 4-2. Series tied at a game apiece. The deciding third game this Saturday in St. Paul at 3 p.m.
It's crazy to me that they go weeks between games in the MLS playoffs. It's bizarre.
It's I mean, I'm not really quite sure why that is. I guess they're just doing all they can to avoid as much football as possible. I'm not really sure.
I was chatting with our buddy Cato, who will sometimes fill in for me if I have a hangnail or something like that. And he said if it's a really important game, they need a minimum of 6 days. This seems insane to me in a sport where there's no really contact.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's
You're just running for 90 minutes, basically.
There is contact.
Cardio.
Ryder, you can just say you've never seen a soccer game. You don't have to say there's no contact. We get it. Oh, my God.
And they do run, in their defense, they do run like 2.5 miles.
I get that.
But at the same time,
6 days?
A week. I mean, game 1 was 2 Mondays ago. Game 2 was yesterday. It's insane.
All right, both of you, stop. They run 5 to 6 miles a game, and they kick the living snot out of each other. I don't want to hear another word.
100%.
Dane St. Clair, goalkeeper for the Loons, was named Keeper of the Year for the league.
That's sweet.
So that's pretty great. His save percentage was the best in the league. His goals against average, second only to Philadelphia's Andre Blake, who played way fewer games. So that's a nice accomplishment. The Nico Medved era of Gophers men's basketball kicked off last night. A big win over Gardner Webb. They won by 27. They were ahead by 33 at half. So, I mean, they were just toying with this team.
I would hope so.
Nico Medved, the Roseville native, former student manager for the Gophers back in the day.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, how great is
very
that?
Cool.
The Gophers women's team starts tonight against those pesky North Dakota Fighting Hawks at 7 p.m. at Williams Arena. Hudson, Wisconsin. Let's just take a moment and say, sup, girl? Sup, Hudson? What are y'all doing over there on the other side of that river?
Probably drinking beer already.
Yep.
Hudson's that's a fine lady right there.
You can't say already if you never stop.
I haven't heard that one before.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning, Minnesota's 92 KQRS. It is Tuesday, November the 4th. Last night, Monday, November the 3rd, my new band, Howl Owl Howl, played our first gig ever in Indianapolis, Indiana. And I'll just get right to it. It was a resounding success.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Okay, start at the beginning. So what's the name of the venue, and what would this be comparable to here?
We played a place called The Vogue. It's an old it's a theater that's 100 years old.
Oh, okay.
There's no seats anymore, but, it has a balcony. There's some seats upstairs, but on the floor, it's about 1,000 capacity.
Okay.
So, overall, smaller space than, say, First Ave. But a more ornate, cool, older looking building.
All right.
Great floor activity. Really, really great. I've played there before with other groups.
Wait, what does floor activity mean? Did somebody start a mosh pit?
No. I mean the way it's laid out, it makes for there's a great group of people on the floor. They were not moshing.
Okay.
But they were certainly rocking and enjoying themselves.
That's
Excellent.
good.
And going out and playing a show in a band that people have heard exactly one song by, a little weird. I mean, we're sitting there going, we're about to go play a lot of songs no one's ever heard. And that usually doesn't go over too well, but we mixed in songs from our previous bands to give people things they were familiar with throughout. But I sincerely, we walked off stage kind of in shock at how receptive everybody was to the new music. Like it was... there were some very quiet moments, and the crowd was very quiet. They weren't, we didn't have to tell people, put your phones down. They weren't just holding them, videoing the whole time.
Yeah.
They weren't talking when there was a quiet song. They were very dialed in. It was a great, great crowd.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we truly were sitting around afterwards going, okay, should we just stop now? I mean, that's about as good as it's going to get, I think.
How many new originals did you guys play?
10.
Wow.
10? How many songs are in the set?
18 or 19.
Okay. All right, cool.
A healthy mix. Walk off stage. The encore break in my life is usually 3 minutes, maybe even 4. And apparently Darius Rucker, the singer in my new band, to him it's 19 seconds.
Oh, really?
Because we walked off stage.
Right.
And it was like, man, we're all like, hey, man, that was really good. And I'm like, okay, I got we're going? Oh, okay. We went right back up. I said afterwards, they go, come on, dude, you got to let me just touch my toes at least. I mean, it was fast turnaround.
Yeah.
But, he was just so excited. We were really, and then on the drive up, we were sitting there kind of, on the bus going, Well, this is really cool. Like, I mean, I didn't think we'd have a bad night at all.
Yeah.
I mean, we had high hopes, but it really was. And I think it says a lot more about the crowd than us. I mean, everybody was kind of like dialed into, okay, we're going to go hear a bunch of songs we don't like, but they trusted us and they dug in. And especially for a Monday night, it was fantastic.
Nice.
That's great.
That's awesome to hear.
Yeah, love
really
it.
Good. The Chicago Metro, a pretty legendary club.
Yeah.
That's tonight's show in Wrigleyville. What's the face, Ryder?
How many people from work asked to be on the guest list? Because we've got a lot of fancy bosses in Chicago.
Well, let's see. All of them.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I got a list cooking tonight, baby. Ooh, dog.
They can't support their boy and buy a ticket?
Man, it's just, what are you going to do? I mean, it's tough.
Can't say no. Yeah, it puts you in a sticky wicket.
Oh, no, I can say no. I'm just choosing this one time not to.
You're more gracious than I would be.
No,
I've been telling everybody around the building who wants to hear the song or see you play, buy a ticket to ride the ride.
That's what I need right there. A little bit more of that action.
Yeah.
No, my big, I don't have any issues with people that I work with. There's enough Gormans in the world that are making my life miserable. Trust me. Those texts are flying in. So last night, first gig, and it's interesting when you have a band. I mean, people that were there are fans of the various members already, clearly. But still, even that being the case, we played a whole bunch of songs no one's ever heard. Everybody that has been there probably had heard My Cologne, the song we released last Friday.
Right.
Or most of them had, probably. But we played 9 other Howl Owl Howl songs that nobody's heard, and they were really cool about it.
Nice.
I mean, and it was funny. Darius and Mike on the microphones both at times said, "Hey, thank you guys, because we realized you're hearing songs for the first time." And it's really cool of you to indulge us and be here when we didn't really offer you any idea what this was going to be.
Right.
So that, which really was cool. And we were really, really happy after the show. And there were we could nitpick. There were weird notes and there was a forgotten this and that, things that we noticed. But as far as first gigs go, I've been in several bands and most first gigs are pretty dicey. And I mean, this was easily the best first gig I've ever been a part of.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
What song felt best to you, would you say? Was it one of the originals, one of the covers? Which one did you just enjoy the most?
I don't know. I mean, I never have to. I mean, like, it's in one way, it's like the specifics just go away as soon as the gig ends.
All right.
We did play the one I love, the REM song.
Okay.
And that just had the, like, from the first downbeat, like the crowd, has that moment of like, oh my God,
Yeah.
There was a bunch of those throughout the night. Anytime we'd play any of the older songs, but I guess that's the first one that came to mind for like, cool, they like this one.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a good feeling. We all really enjoyed ourselves. And we're doing it tonight. We're doing it Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We got 9 gigs, 1 down, 8 to go. And sometime in 26, we will 100% be in the Twin Cities.
That would
Make no
be-
mistake about that.
That'd be awesome. So I realize that Darius is not a Black Crowes member and not an REM member, but he's also got a very distinctive voice. How did his voice sound on those songs?
Terrible. Oh, no, wait, no. No, it sounded great.
Does it translate though? Because it is a unique it is a unique range for him, and again, he's got a very distinctive kind of different voice.
Well, the REM stuff is not that difficult. Stipe's a deep voice guy too. And Darius has sung REM songs for years in his own gigs and Hootie and Blowfish gigs. I mean, he has probably in his life done 24 REM songs at different times. So
Gotcha.
That's very comfortable for him. And the Crow stuff that we did, same thing. Like, both bands were very big influences in Darius. I mean, we were more peers. REM were older. But the Crows, when we came out, Hootie and the Blowfish were already a big band in the South. They were a regional band doing really well when the Crows, like, first and second records were blowing up. And he took a lot of, he'll be the first to tell you, like, he's like, oh man, that's taking pages from our book in different ways. And then as a performer, he definitely kind of changed his approach after seeing a few of our gigs. But yeah, to answer your question, long story short, just great. Everything sounded fantastic.
That's cool.
He's a great singer. He can when he's off, he sounds great. You know what I mean? Like he's just got the voice. It's like no matter what he's doing, it's just like, man, listen to that guy. So it was all cool.
When Howl Owl Howl does play a show here, can Ryder maybe get a tambourine? Maybe the triangle for a song?
No, that's a party foul with Steve. I know him well enough that I am not going to be playing tambourine or any type of thing where I need to keep rhythm.
Not a chance.
I have met this dude before.
And by the hey, Darius and I were talking about this last night. In 1995 or 96, I played in the VH1 Fairway to Heaven, the golf tournament on VH1. Darius was there. All the Blowfish were there. It was in Vegas. You know, they fly out. You do a thing. You'd play a round of golf you had a pro on your team, and my team was called the Black Birdies because I was from the Black Crows. You know,
right?
And we had this guy Ted Triba was my pro. Anyway, we're on the course, have a great time. Round ends, and Rosemary and I are going to go to the airport. We're taking off. We'd already been in town a few days. And they had arranged a car for us, but it didn't show up.
Oh. And
as we're standing there, Dan Patrick, like the ESPN guy, legendary sportscaster Dan Patrick, he's standing there, and we had met a few times. And he goes, "Do you need a ride? Do you need a ride? Did I hear that?" And I said, "Yeah, our car's not here." And he goes, "I gotta just come with me." He had like a limo, and so me and Rosemary hop in the car with him, and he's like, "So, blah blah blah." We're just chatting, and he goes, "Hey, so are you guys on tour?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "We're going to be in Connecticut at some point. The Black Crows were." I said, "You should come to the show."
Yeah.
I said, "Bring every dude from SportsCenter that wants to come. Bring them all. Bring the whole team." And he goes, "Can I get up on stage and play tambourine with you?" And I said, "Not a chance in hell." And he looked at me, genuinely shocked. He goes, "Really?" I go, "Yeah, why would we let you play tambourine on stage with us?" He might as well have been speaking Russian to me. And he goes, "Hootie and the Blowfish let me do it." And I go, "They're great guys." We're not. No, not a chance.
Oh.
And,
so what you're saying is that... So what you're saying is...
back to Darius back at the time, because he and Dan are friends. And Darius was like, "You wouldn't let Dan on stage," like years ago. And then it was funny. Something reminded of us of just that last night. No, I can't. And by the way, it's me entirely. If somebody has a piece of a percussion instrument and they're making noise and it's the slightest bit out of my time, I'm throwing hands. It's like, no, I am at work. Stop shaking that thing.
Yeah, I'll be sitting by the back bar drinking my PBR in rhythm.
There you
I
go.
will not get out of time that way.
That's what I want to see.
But that is my job for the night.
You don't want visual cues to throw them off, for sure. Yeah.
There will be extra PBRs on the Ryder for Ryder that night. You can
Game
bet that.
on.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
A factory worker in Russia. Sounds like the beginning of a great joke. He walked into a bar. No, a factory worker in Russia is now at the center of a lawsuit. He's being sued by his own company.
Well, okay.
So basically what happened was he was expecting a bonus. He and other employees have been told a bonus is coming. And he had it in his mind. It's probably going to be, $500, $600. Logged into his bank account recently to find $87,000.
Oh,
holy moly!
Nice.
Had been deposited. Now, when you're expecting $500 and you get $87,000, I think a lot of us might immediately go, "Hey, I bet that's not supposed to happen."
But there's a lot of rubles.
That's so many of the rubles. And so he did the smart thing. He just immediately started spending the money.
Hell yeah, before they could take it back.
And not only that, relocated to another city.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. He got busy. He was contacted almost immediately, being told, "Hey, no. Here, there was a glitch, a payroll glitch. That $87,000 was all 34 employees' bonuses. Everybody was supposed to get that. Now that's about $2,500 per person. 87 grand into 34. That's still a nice bonus.
Yeah.
But 2,500 ain't 87,000.
No,
so he's now got a couple of problems. One, his company's suing him, and two, he's got 33 coworkers going, "Yo, dude, give it back."
How many Fabergé eggs do you need?
Man, that is always the question. And so the question for you guys is, what do you do when you log into your bank account and see that the old payroll has thrown in way more money than you were anticipating? Do you immediately transfer it into a different account so they can't draw it back? Do you write a check to charity?
I immediately ask what the hell's going on because I know I'm going to be liable for it at some point anyway. I would rather just deal with it than, go buy the Porsche and then find out I have to take it back.
Okay, that's the reasonable response, Ryder.
Phone's going on Do Not Disturb.
Atta girl.
We are done.
We got plans to make. We got to take a moment and think about this. 651-989-ROCK is your Luther Westside Volkswagen talk and text line. What would you do? Has anything like this ever happened? Did you ever look at your bank and go, well, now where did all that money come from? And what am I about to do with it? I'm curious. 651-989-ROCK. A factory worker in Russia, $87,000 accidentally deposited into his bank account. His employer is saying, hey, that was payroll for everybody. You got to give it back. And he is going, yet I don't. And by the way, this has gone through 2 rounds of court. Courts both times sided with the company. He is now appealing to Russia's Supreme Court.
Wow.
He said, he goes, listen, guys, I did my own research online. This is true. He said that. I've done my own research. I found out that if this is a billing error, I'm obligated to return it. But if it's a technical error, then it's up to me to return it or not. And so he's saying this was a technical error, not a billing error.
He's digging in.
Digging in.
I would just panic and freak out. That's why my response. It's just like...
the whole idea of this, or what the company is saying, this $87,000 was for 34 employees' bonuses, not one guy. So he has 33 angry Russians after him. That's the scariest part to me.
He needs the machine.
I've seen enough movies to know angry Russians are not good.
No, it's not good at all.
33 coworkers going, man, seriously, Vlad, can you just cough up my bonus? Come on, don't worry about the others. And what about me? How many phone calls like that has he gotten? Come on, dude, just give me my piece and don't worry about the rest. Oh, that's tough. That would be the hardest part is hearing that it's everybody else's money as I spent it on all kinds of cool stuff.
I couldn't do that.
The company's going to cough up these people's bonuses. I'm guessing if it's gone all the way to the Russian Supreme Court, that must take at least a few years. Maybe months, but still, the company's coughing up bonuses for his coworkers.
I would certainly hope so.
Yes.
I would hope they do the right thing. But then again, having seen movies about Russia, we can't be sure that they're doing the right thing.
Fair.
Well, and companies in general, anywhere in the world, they're never looking to do the right thing. They're looking to protect themselves.
Well, I mean, that's one man's conspiracy theory. Fine. I'd like to think this factory has their best interests at heart of their employees.
I'd like to think so too, in the heart of Russia.
Yeah, that's not really how that rolls over there, I guess. All I know is this: $87,000 in my bank account accidentally. It's immediately going somewhere else, and then we'll discuss this at length. You know what? I'd be like those jewelry thieves at the Louvre. Yeah, I took it. And I'll tell you where it is if we reduce my sentence. It's a bargaining chip. That $87,000 is it's leverage. That's what that is.
Taking it from your colleagues, though, that's tough. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, you guys would forgive me.
No.
Yes, no? I would.
No.
I would.
Come on.
Man,
sure.
All that charm comes in handy occasionally.
Yeah, especially because you're going to be tied up in court for 2 years, which you're offering me $87,000, but saying you have to do all of this paperwork. No, thank you.
It's time to just throw down some heat. It's time to divide the camp. Divide and conquer.
All right.
The subject, Chex Mix. Let's say the Chex Mix gods tap you on the shoulder and say, Ryder, one of these pieces of Chex Mix needs to be eliminated. You've got your wheat Chex, your corn Chex, your square pretzel, your circle pretzel, your mini breadstick, and the rye chip, the little cracker that's rye. One of those has to go. Ryder, which one goes?
Oh, man, I'm torn between, the rye chip has got to stay because it's the best. And I will
100%.
I will get the bag of Gardettos, oops, we made it all with rye chips. I will definitely do that on a road trip. I'm torn between the square check, or the wheat check, which seems like too healthy for Chex Mix, and the square pretzel, which seems a little unnecessary with the round pretzel.
It's a tough one. 651-989-ROCK is the Luther Westside Volkswagen Westside text line. You can feel free to weigh in. Fletcher, before I ask you, the text line is smoking right now.
It really kind of has. Tubby came in with get those mixed nuts out. Do they have mixed nuts in Chex Mix?
Sometimes there's a nut in there, sure.
Okay, well,
back in the old day, they've probably removed the peanuts now because people remove peanuts because people decided one day they were allergic to them.
Right, well, he said stop it in all caps, and I wanted to make sure I emphasized the all caps on behalf of Tubby. It's important for me to communicate correctly. John just get rid of Chex Mix altogether. Wow. Unpopular opinion. My God.
This is John, who's like celebrity baker in Somerset, is it not?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, so he doesn't even count.
He's operating on a whole different level. Yeah. I doubt he's bought in any kind of processed foods in maybe decades.
Probably correct.
I'm old enough to remember before you could buy Chex Mix. When I was a kid, Chex Mix was something your mom made.
Right.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was this was for years and years. I mean, in fact, I was probably in college. I would be willing to bet the first time I saw Chex Mix in a bag, and I was like, what in the... No. That is ridiculous. This is something you're supposed to go buy all the ingredients separately and mix it at home and bake it in the oven together and blah, blah, blah. I couldn't believe they were selling it already put together like that.
Yeah, it seems lazy.
It does seem lazy. Of course, when I see a bag of Chex Mix now, I just rip right into that bad boy.
100%.
It's kind of hard to stop.
The
original recipe, originally, I'm thinking about it. It was just the types of Chex and pretzels and peanuts. There wasn't the rye chip. There wasn't the little breadstick in the original. Back then, it was like, where were you going to find little rye chips in the real world?
Right.
But I'm not big on the little breadstick, the little mini breadstick. Is it just to be the neutral guy to balance all the other flavors? I just don't get it. Why is
it brings some richness in, and it's got a little bit of butteriness to it. At the risk of pissing you two off this morning at an early, it's rye chips. They can go bye-bye in the car. I don't need to break. Listen, hey, you know what? Keep your buzzer to yourself. I don't have a buzzer. You don't get to use a buzzer, okay? Good Lord, I'm already fighting an uphill battle. I don't need to chip. Zip it. Zip it.
Buzzer is the buzzer's that right there is good living.
Okay, well, I want to see that buzzer used on you two once in a while then. You know what? I don't need to chip a tooth eating freaking Chex Mix. And I don't need one thing in the Chex Mix to take over the entire palate. My God.
No, man, that rye chip that's as close to heaven as you get most days.
Well,
go to the dentist because something is wrong with your teeth.
It's
rye
cool that
chips should not cause them to break.
It's cool that I didn't say break. It's a chip. Also,
are you freezing your Chex Mix again?
I think it's pretty cool that your piece of little slice of heaven is right near hell.
Yeah, right. Well, hey, man, I'm a mixed bag. I am the yin and yang all in one.
That's fine.
Bouquet.
Yeah, well, here come, you know what? You guys are all insane. John also added, big fan of only rye chips. Chris.
Yeah.
Rich said, one pretzel out, add more rye chips. You guys are crazy.
Yeah, well,
seriously.
Some people like flavor. 651-989-ROCK. Let us know, what are you eliminating from your Chex Mix? By the way, you can also hit the KQRS Facebook page. We got a few comments coming in there as well. What now?
One more text. Remove the mini breadstick. It's the middle child of the snack world.
No, when it gets the extra seasoning baked onto it, it's the best piece.
I agree. It's the breadstick, not the stupid rye crisp. You're right.
I've always referred to the Chex Mix breadstick as the toenail of Chex Mix.
You know what? I gotta go to my boy. I can always count on Serpico. I'm fighting an uphill battle. I needed some help. He said, I'm with Fletcher. The rye chip has to go. That a boy.
Serpico is wrong this morning. He's usually right, but today he is wrong. Sorry, bud.
He's on it. Wild Hooch says, I love homemade Chex Mix. As a child, my mom had a coworker that would make batches and give us a coffee can full of Chex Mix as a Christmas gift. Good living. Hashtag the 80s.
In a
coffee can.
Wow, coffee can. Like the Folgers can or the Maxwell House can. That's people used to get. I forgot all about that.
The coffee can. Man. We've actually gotten multiple texts about the coffee can delivery system.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, I completely forgot about it too, but that's how my grandma did it now that it's been brought up.
Mrs. Tuning, a woman named Penny Tuning, was the Chex Mix queen of Hopkinsville, Kentucky.
Oh, really?
Man, when she pulled the Chex Mix out, it was like, oh snap, here we go.
I like it.
Good living.
You know what? I bet the coffee can added some flavor too, because you can never really fully get coffee out of the can.
No, I'm sure it was. And I would imagine some people probably would tell you that, well, it's actually better in a Maxwell House can than a Folgers can because, the coffee aficionados amongst the Chex Mix crowd that are out there.
I wouldn't be picky about which coffee can it was as long as the rye chips are lessened.
But there's always, I'm just saying, there's always one guy that ruins a good time by saying things like, well, which coffee can makes a big difference. And then if you get a Cafe Bustelo, if you're feeling really fancy, and then you just want to smack him in the head. And that guy, you know what? That guy usually has a unibrow. That's what I found.
And no friends. That's
how that works. Well, I already said he has a unibrow. So, I mean, I'm just like, you can't be friends with those. You can't turn your back on somebody with a unibrow. We got wild tickets, sweet tickets for tonight's game. We would love to give them away. We're going to play a game called Wisconsin, Texas, Florida, WTF Fletcher's edition. Fletcher's going to share 3 stories with us, and we'll ask you to determine which state these 3 things went down in. They will have all happened in either Wisconsin, Texas, or Florida. First caller to guess all 3 correctly wins tickets to the game. Yeah, Nashville Predators in town, a game. They're also under 500, so very much an opportunity for the Wild to get 2 wins in a row because they won their last game. Isn't that special? Let's do it, boys. All right, story number 1. A car salesman, he went on, thought he was being really cool and bragging, and things backfired a bit on him.
Well, a car salesman in County was fired today after backlash from a now-deleted viral TikTok video he recently posted.
Yeah, Ellie Nakamoto-White reports tonight from the Honda dealership in
This TikTok, originally posted by a now-deleted account under @KennySells, sparking controversy online after going viral.
Wow, you actually posted that.
The caption, "You look happier. Thanks. I just sold a single mom a car. $10,000 over sticker." Officials first placed Kenny Rua on suspension as they investigated his TikTok, but today we learned he's officially been terminated. Since the TikTok, the dealership's been the target of negative reviews, leading to this post on their Facebook, claiming the sale never happened, and it was intended as a joke. And although we, quote, value freedom of speech, we do hold our team members to a high standard of decency, truthfulness, and service. In a statement directly to the dealership says his actions do not represent the values we stand for as a dealership and a community of professionals. County, Ellie Nakamoto-White, CBS 58 News.
First of all, I love when when TV people talk like this. They're so nasally and presented. It's hilarious to me. Oh my God.
Rough story. My goodness.
Apparently it was a joke, and I guess I could see that because you're trying to get yourself attention, but my God, why would you brag about that to begin with? What an idiot.
Knucklehead.
All right, story number 2. We just went through the holiday frenzy. A lot of Spirit Halloween stores open, and the last thing you expect to see in one is a monkey on the loose.
This next story is bananas, okay? A monkey escaped its owner inside of a Spirit Halloween store in
and just sheer shock.
A Spirit Halloween store can be a surreal shopping experience. But creepy clowns and spooky scarecrows took a backseat Monday night to the real show, running around above store shelves. Arlene Pinkston was shopping with her daughters at a Spirit store.
My daughter looked up and she said, "What in the world?" And she's like, "Is that a real monkey?" And so I look up and I said, Well, it's got a diaper on, so I guess it is real.
For more than 30 minutes, the monkey could be seen climbing poles, swinging from wires, and crawling around rafters. Jimmy Harris works at the store. He says the pet monkey got spooked by animatronics and ran away from a customer who brought the animal inside.
It was entertaining. I mean, it was like, a lot of people just stood and watched for like 30 minutes, like the whole time. There was a monkey. And you had kids trying to catch it.
Police were called to the store and tell us when an officer arrived, he observed the monkey swinging from the rafters wearing a diaper. Eventually, a cookie was offered to the monkey by the owner and was able to gain control of it. Hair-raising for different reasons. In Meredith Yeomans, NBC5.
Oh, my God. I love the line of like, I'm wearing a diaper. It must be a real monkey.
Gotta be.
You're not going to waste a diaper on a fake monkey.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
Oh, last but not least, so you go out, you know, a lot of people use Amazon these days. You get a lot of packages delivered, and, you know, you usually expect to get your medical supplies, but sometimes you get body parts.
A package delivered to a woman's house with body parts inside.
Can you even believe it, right? Our Dryden Quigley tells us about a gruesome surprise.
It sounds like something out of a Halloween movie, but it really happened here in County. A woman says she opened up a package that was left on her porch only to find it was full of body parts. When the coroner's office got the call around 8 Wednesday night, they weren't sure if the sheriff was being serious.
I think with anybody this time of year would assume that'd be a hoax. Yeah, but it wasn't.
So coroner Scott Daniel headed to pick up the 2 arms and 4 fingers that arrived on a woman's doorstep. She was expecting a delivery from that courier service, but it was supposed to contain medical supplies, not limbs on ice.
Takes the box inside, opens it just like anybody else would. In the box were 2 arms and 4 fingers, human cadaver parts.
A newfound fear for people who say they didn't even know that body parts could be shipped in the mail.
I don't even have words. I open boxes every day. And I would just die. I would scream and run away.
The body parts were supposed to be going to a medical training facility. He says it was a series of mishaps that led them here. The sheriff's office tells us that this was an accident, and now the body parts have made it to their correct destination, and the woman received her medical supplies. Dryden Quigley, 44.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so
Good ones.
Do we know what the 4 fingers are? Is it your standard pointer, middle, ring, and pinky? Or is it like if you could have 4 new fingers, would you go with some kind of different arrangement? Is my first thought about this one.
I'm not going to question nature. I feel like our fingers are you know, set the way that they're supposed to be. So I would just take my same 4 again. I mean, I'd trade for different fingers because mine suck. I have chubby little baby digits, but there you go. So just imagine, like, you open up a box that you think is going to be, you know, insulin or whatever, and you get that. Holy cow.
All right, that's 3 good stories right there, my man.
Yeah, nice work.
Thanks.
Apparently, we have a listener who has the right answers.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Michelle in Bloomington has apparently picked up on the code that I was laying down. A quick review. Number 1, we had a car salesman who was bragging about essentially stealing $10,000 from a customer that he overcharged, and it kind of backfired on him a little bit. Steve?
I'm going to say that's Florida, just because why wouldn't it be?
Okay.
I was flip-flopping on this one, but just given the lengthy apology that this car dealer issued, I'm going to go with Wisconsin because of the over-apology.
All right. Michelle, lay it on him.
It was Wisconsin.
Boom. All right. Here we go.
There you go. Ryder on the board. Ryder's on the board. I like it. Second one, we had a monkey. We knew it was a real monkey because it was wearing diapers. It was on the loose in a Spirit Halloween store. Steve?
I'm a broken record, but I'm going to go Florida.
Okay.
Okay, I was thinking there are absolutely no rules in the Wild West of Texas about where you bring your monkeys, so I'm going to go with Texas on this one.
Okay, Michelle.
Ryder's right again, Texas.
Yes.
Wow, she is feeling it. She's feeling it this
All
morning.
right.
Ryder might have the code correct as well. All right, last but not least, you go out to get your Amazon package and you're thinking you got some medical supplies, and instead you got body parts, fingers and an arm, if I remember correctly, that were supposed to go to a medical or a facility for learning, essentially, and they ended up on this lady's doorstep. Steve?
I'm not 100% certain, but I'm pretty sure that there are severed fingers on the state flag of Florida, so I'm yet again going to say Florida.
All right. Ryder?
Okay, here's where we're split. I watched the Ed Gein Monsters on Netflix, and then I went and watched the Jeffrey Dahmer one, too. So if you say severed body parts, I know that that's happened in Wisconsin.
All right.
Boy.
Michelle, one of them's got it.
The answer is, drum roll, Florida.
It is.
Finally.
Also, I want to point out, we laid out a proper WTF today.
We certainly did.
Yes.
All right, then.
Well done, Michelle. Enjoy the game tonight. Get the Wild a win, will you?
I sure will. I'm bringing it.
Hell yeah.
Awesome, Michelle.
I love
know you'll definitely have a great time in the suite. Congratulations.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning on Minnesota's 92 KQRS. Okay. The Midwest Murder Podcast is blowing up. There's going to be a live taping at the Hook and Ladder Theater Thursday at 7 p.m. And our hosts, Jonah, Lanto, and Dawn Palumbo, are on the horn with Gorman in the morning. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for calling in.
Yeah.
Okay, my first question, have we gotten to the point yet where people will stop saying, this never happens in my town?
No.
Because it happens everywhere. The true crime explosion of these last few years, if there's anything we should have learned, is that anything can happen anywhere.
Exactly. It happens everywhere, and decade by decade, it doesn't change. We have stories that go back to the 1800s, late 1800s, and as recently as like 2020. And it doesn't change decade by decade. People still think, well, it doesn't happen around here. Or when it happens, they always think, oh, it's not someone from around here. It has to have been somebody it has to have been an outsider.
Mm-hmm. It's
or if it's the 80s, it was a cult or devil worshippers, or the cartel.
Dawn, when did we get so boring that we stopped with the devil worshipping cults and just had to admit it was our own neighbors? When did all that switch?
Well, and I'm not sure it's fully switched yet, but it is. but every decade has its scapegoat. That's for sure. Yeah, it's got to be this or it's got to be that.
So, were you guys? I mean, was this something you were both had an interest in? Were you listening to other true crime podcasts, and it sort of dawned on you? Jonah, tell me the genesis of this podcast.
Oh man, great question. Thanks for asking that. Long story short, I started podcasting in my basement in 2016. I began producing podcasts for other people. I produced a different podcast for Dawn Palumbo here. That ran its course. I moved my studio out of my basement into a full-time space here in Minot, and that's about when Dawn pitched me the idea of saying, hey, would you ever think about doing a true crime podcast? And at that time, I thought the idea was totally silly, and I was like, no, not so much. Sorry, Dawn. And got into my studio. I interview a true crime author, CJ Wynn. I read her book, and I kind of found, I was like, whoa, true crime, all of this, it has way more to it than what I thought. Because to me at the time, podcasts were big conversations. It was interviews. It wasn't, and I didn't want to BS about people dying. So I had kind of a short vision of what true crime could be, and that's where Dawn came in.
So, Dawn, well, we'll just blame you then. So, you're
usually my fault.
Yeah, of course. Do you feel like now? I mean, you guys are up over 130 episodes. Is it? I guess it's not challenging at all to come up with a new story. It's probably more of a challenge to figure out which one to go into.
Unfortunately, that's the truth. People could stop murdering, a year ago, and we would have. Unfortunately, we would have case material for many, many years to come. And it is hard. One of the challenges is making sure that we can find the right information, accurate information. So we do try to use court documents as much as possible. Mm-hmm. And, sometimes that can be a challenge that we have to kind of overcome. And but we do have a wide array of cases, even in the Midwest.
Hey, guys, I'm Paul. You've got a live show at the Hook and Ladder Theater this Thursday, 7 o'clock. One thing that really jumped out to me, it's really odd, and it's probably immaterial, but the ticket price is $30.21. Is there a rhyme or reason or a story behind that?
No, that would just be what ticket prices are for Hook and Ladder with their fees and everything. But I wish there was a deeper meaning. I wish we were cooler enough to come up with something like that. But
yes, it's not a Zodiac killer clue. No, nothing like that.
So how does the live taping work? Do you guys present, which would be a new case, and then is there a Q&A as well, or do people ask questions about former episodes? What can they expect, or anyone that's going to show up?
So the main show is a new case, and it always works. Either Jonah or I tell the story or tell the case, and the other person sitting in the other chair is basically as big of a fan as one sitting in the audience. They have no idea what the other person is going to cover. So we go through that. It is a new case that we have not covered yet. And then following that, we have a Q&A that the audience can ask whatever they want. Or can ask us anything.
Right. That's great. Dawn, is it hard to sometimes, or is it, I guess it is always difficult. You're presenting some really, really difficult material. You're trying to do it in a respectful manner, but then you also have to make it listenable and somehow palatable. I feel like that's a tough needle to thread sometimes. It
really is. And sometimes the certain cases don't lend themselves to any levity whatsoever. There's, it's hard to even, make fun of the measliest thing. And so there are certain cases that don't lend themselves to that. But Jonah and I have great chemistry, and neither one of us are afraid to call out the other. And so it works out. And really, we get to use this platform that we have, to bring awareness to cases. And if people are listening to true crime, that's kind of part of the reason why they're listening.
Jonah Lanto and Dawn Palumbo are with us on Gorman in the Morning. They host the Midwest Murder Podcast. There's a live taping at the Hook and Ladder Theater Thursday at 7 p.m. TheHookMPLS.com is where you can go for tickets. I'll ask you both. Jonah, I'll ask you first. Is there one episode in the 131, it looks like, that you've posted that sticks with you the most, that jumps out as either the most fascinating or the most horrible, or just if there's one that I said, what's the one that comes to mind first? What is it?
The one that comes to mind first lately, and this has changed over the years. Dawn and I have been doing this for 5 years, but the one that comes to mind, I can't swear on the radio, right?
No, please don't.
Please don't.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Okay.
Well, the episode is called Nobody Saw SH, and you can finish the rest. That's the episode title.
Okay.
Nobody Saw S. And it is the only time in live audience Midwest murder history where when the quote-unquote victim in the story dies, that victim died to a thunderous applause from the audience.
Really?
Oh, my goodness.
All right.
Okay.
And there's a reason that victim got an applause upon his death. And Dawn got mad at me because I had her morally justifying vigilante justice, and she was mad at me for writing it like that. So when you talk about threading the needle in these stories, yeah, I think I thread that one pretty well.
Nice.
Very true.
That's fantastic. Dawn, is there one that jumps out to you?
There are a couple, of course, as you mentioned, 131 episodes, so there's a couple that stick out. But the main one for me right now, as a mom of teenagers, is She Did Everything Right, and it is absolutely horrifying. We talk about everything that we should do. We should be aware of our surroundings. If you're going on a date with someone, or you meet them on Tinder or whatever, you should make sure that someone knows where you are, knows who you're with, all of those things. And this was a horrible case where she did absolutely everything right, and it still ended in tragedy.
Boy. Okay. You got me. That's the hooks have been baited for sure. The Midwest Murder Podcast available anywhere you get podcasts, I'm assuming.
Absolutely.
I'm seeing it right on my feed here. The Hook and Ladder, Thursday, 7 p.m. You can get tickets at thehookmpls.com. Last question for each of you, and I'll just go first, Jonah. What's the band or artist musical that you have seen the most times live?
The band and or artist musical that I've seen the most times live, Humphreys McGee is the band that I've seen the most times live, followed next by Tool.
Wow, man.
I like that one.
Wow. Don't hear those in the same sentence all that often.
Followed third by Jack White.
Okay.
Man, right on.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Street cred for days. All right, Dawn, what about you?
So sorry. Neil Diamond was the one that I've seen the most.
Wow.
Neil Diamond, I saw him 7 times. Yes.
Right on. Hey,
Yeah, and then I would say followed by Chris Stapleton, and then the Hamilton musical.
Okay.
A lot of great songs in all three of those song books. So no sweat there.
Gorman, if I may, I just got a fan guy for a second here. I caught you at Wakarusa back in 2013 up on the mountaintop, and the Crows, you guys were so good live. I had no idea how jammy you guys would be. Totally changed my scope. It was probably your live show that even pushed me into Humphreys McGee and the jam scene. So that was good stuff. Thank you.
Wow, I'm just glad we made it out of Arkansas alive, both of us.
No kidding. It was a gnarly year.
Yeah. If I remember, it was raining the whole time, was it not?
Yeah, that one ended up becoming Swamparusa. You guys were like probably the best night that year.
That's right. Well, all right. I'm glad it worked for you, man. I have somewhat pleasant memories of some of the shows in that year myself. Hey, Jonah and Dawn, thanks for calling in, guys. All the best. The podcast is blowing up. The event, I'm sure Thursday will be fantastic. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you guys so much.
You got it. How about that? Just anywhere in America. Yeah, just someone's doing something awful right now. And within a few months, they'll probably be telling the story on the podcast.
100%. They've definitely got good chemistry, the two of them, and you can hear that that's a great podcast just listening to them talk.
Oh, I listened to an episode that took place in Little Falls in 2012, and I was a little skeptical at first, but as soon as they started doing the play-by-play basically on what went down, I was absolutely sucked in. An hour went by instantaneously. So, and they really do not hold back on all the gory details. So if you do go see them, be prepared for that.
Good to know.
Yeah, all right. Fascinating.
Hey, check this out. You can meet up with 92 KQRS at the release party for Husker Du's 1985 The Miracle Year. Thursday night starting at 7 p.m. at Grumpy's Northeast. Hear tracks from the new box set during a DJ set from Husker Du's Greg Norton. Plus, you can pick up the new box set featuring live Husker Du performances from 1985, courtesy of Down in the Valley. And as long as you're there, have a few bevies with your buds from KQ.
Sure.
It's me. I'm your buds from KQ.
That's right. I was going to say, it sounds like a Ryder.
Hell yeah.
More info at 92kqrs.com. We got time for the last word. A nice, easy, simple one today.
All right.
But with some real depth. And this is one of my favorite things. Paul Valéry. Valéry is a French poet, essayist, and philosopher. Died in 1945. And he said the following: the best way to make a dream come true is to wake up.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Yeah. Facts.
I think real important for morning people to hear that crap.
It's great to have dreams, and it's real great to turn them into reality by waking up and making them happen. I like it.
Hell yeah.
Work your tushy.
Rewards action. Tomorrow on this show, Gorman in the Morning, Sydney Sweeney, actress of note, will call in. We'll be discussing her new movie that's coming out this week called Christy.
This looks freaking cool.
Yeah, she plays Christy Martin, boxer.
I've seen the trailer for that. She's bulked up, man. Holy buckets.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. And then, hey, right now, however, a Fletcher is going to stick around. What's coming up, dude?
Soul Asylum. I can't remember whatever. I just remember seeing Soul Asylum for sure. Then he got a couple of chances to get on the see Trans-Siberian Orchestra in the city of your choice, and commercial free just after 11:45.
That all sounds great. Keep it right here on Minnesota's 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the Morning is also Gorman on the go. Get the 92 KQRS app and stream live or catch the Gorman in the Morning podcast anytime. 92 KQRS.